All right, the unboxing and review video is finally here. I'm going to show you guys what comes in the box and share my initial thoughts and impressions on this crazy decoy that actually calls ducks for you. I know, it's absurd. All right, let's get into the video. All right, cool. Well, as you guys saw from the last clip, from just reading the message that the founder of the company sent to me, I've already opened the box and done a few videos with it. I couldn't resist myself. Starting with the box itself, I love that they went with the orange. It says Chatter Duck up here. Tells you the specifics of what the decoy actually does. So mechanical sounds of a duck, swimming motion, wings flapping. And I love that they went with an orange box. Like, it's just very different and unique for the waterfowl industry, which I really respect. And it kind of grabs your attention. At least it did for me when I was in the store. All right, so opening this thing up. So this will come in two pieces in the box. This is what sits on top of the decoy and actually moves up and down. These little legs will be separate in their own compartment, and these are pretty easy. They just slide up into the little holes up here. Hopefully you can see. And I like this design because you can move these legs up or down depending on the type of area that you're hunting, whether you want them deep down into the water to really move it a lot, or if you just want them to sit right at the water level to just slap the water. It's really customizable. And then up here, these are the magnets. Now this is how it actually attaches to the decoy, which I'll show you in just a minute. Next is the actual decoy itself. Comes in a nice little bag. And then the last thing that comes in the box is the remote. So with this, I'm pretty sure you can program it to have 4 different settings if you want, just to be able to turn it off and on. This comes charged and works right out of the box, which is very nice. All right, let's take a close-up look at the decoy. Nothing too fancy. It doesn't have a flocked head, and it's not necessarily a feeder. It's kind of right in between a feeder and a head up. Nice keel. I love that it's an actual decoy that you can use while hunting, whether you want it to be swimming around and talking or not. And it's got a good feel to it. It feels pretty durable. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. The paint scheme on it is pretty decent. Looks good. Honestly, with a decoy like this, I wouldn't want it to be too fancy. I like that it's got a durable feel to it. On the keel, you have 2 different spots to hook up with rigging. And then here is all of your components for how the decoy actually works. So these 2 screws on each side is how you turn the decoy off or on with power, or how the decoy gets power, let's say that. So you unscrew this guy right here, maybe, and then it swivels around to this far side. You throw 2 AA batteries on this side and same on this side, and that's it. Then the decoy is good to go, which honestly I love. I like that there's not a ton of big moving parts and pieces on this decoy. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and easy to use. Now, I don't know how this battery and charging system is going to work when it's freezing outside, but I can't imagine that the decoy itself takes all that much power, and I feel like 4 AA batteries is going to be plenty to actually run this. So a big question I saw on TikTok that I want to cover real quick is, how is this decoy legal? Well, it's because there's no actual speaker in the decoy. this little box right here is what makes all of the noise. So as this goes up and down, that's what makes the decoy actually talk. And it works down here. There's a little circle that has a ledge on it. And as it rotates, it's going to make the sound. So let me turn this on and show you guys. This thing is crazy. So as this goes up and down, it's going to make that noise, which makes it legal. If you can use a spinning wing decoy in your state, so a Mojo, Lucky Duck, there's a Higdon, any of those spinning wing decoys, if you can use them in your state, this is completely legal, which is absolutely awesome. Before we move on to my actual thoughts and opinions, I like how it's just a one-piece design and there's nowhere for water to get inside and mess everything up. To turn it off and on, the switch is just up here underneath, and that's it. They do have, I think it's like a silicone on the outside, which is what they use to probably put the decoy or this motion device inside of the decoy. It's just brown, nothing too fancy, but it doesn't feel unstable or gimmicky. Like this decoy is solid, and I feel like it's definitely going to last a long time, which is weird to say because most motion decoys, as you guys know, do not last a long time. All right, so for the feet, and we'll call them the wings, all they do is stick on top right there. So these magnets pair up with these two magnets on top, and then you're good to go. It is not going to go anywhere. It'll open up like that, but you're not going to have to worry about this top fabric piece or the feet falling off. The magnets are actually pretty dang strong, which is really nice. And honestly, it makes it pretty easy to turn it off and on because that can flip up like this. Move the sound device up, turn on the decoy, and you're good to go. All right, I'm going to whoa. I do not want to drive to the park again today, so I'm just going to throw this in the bathtub so you guys can see it actually swimming around and making noise, and then we'll go from there. All right, now that you all have an understanding of what comes in the box, how it works, how it functions, and honestly, I'm glad that they made it really durable. There are a few things I want to talk about that I don't necessarily love, but at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. So the price of this decoy, it's right around $200. I do have a 15% off code that I will link in the description. If you guys use that code, it does help me out. So that'd be awesome. If you feel like picking one of these up, it's going to save you 15%, which honestly is pretty good for motion decoy discounts. Now, I did test this out a few days ago at the pond, and honestly, the birds kind of liked it, which I wasn't sure if they were going to. They would swim up and check it out, and they weren't like afraid of it, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't necessarily know if it was calling birds in, but for the hunting season, I don't see where this product could necessarily hurt you instead of benefiting you. If you are a serious waterfowl hunter, you know that casting sound out over the decoys can sometimes hurt you, or calling when they're directly above you. But with this product, you're getting the motion from the wings actually moving on top of the decoy. You're getting motion from the decoy swimming around in the water with the feet, and you're getting the ripple in the water for those ducks to look down and see that there's three types of motion that you get with this decoy, which is awesome. Now, probably the main selling point of this decoy is the actual ability to call ducks out in your spread instead of casting sound over it. So you can set this decoy up to run for as long as you want, or pretty much however you want to set it up with the remote, you can do that. Now, as I was saying earlier, if you are a serious hunter, almost every time you go out hunting, at least one point or the other, you and your buddies are going to be talking or goofing around, and then ducks are going to fly by, and you're going to go, oh crap, wish I would have been able to get their attention earlier, or been able to, for them to suck down into where I want them to work. And I think this decoy provides that. Now, obviously, I haven't tried it during the actual hunting season yet because in my state it is not open. But I've been really impressed with the quality of the build, the ability of it to make sound and be legal in almost every state. And I think, especially if you're just getting into duck hunting and you might not be super comfortable with blowing a duck call or working birds, I think this is an awesome choice for you. It's going to help. I really can't see a way yet for where this is going to deter birds or flare birds. You think of all of the things in the hunting industry right now, and there's a lot. I think this is actually worth the money. Now, one thing I wish that they would have included, if you're spending $200 for one decoy, I think it would have been worth their time and money to put one section of rigging in with it if you're paying that much. Now, obviously, most guys are going to have some rigging laying around that they can make this work, but it would have been nice. The biggest thing I wish they would have included with this is a specific bag for this decoy. Now, it is durable, and I'm not necessarily worried about it getting beaten up or broken. But if you look at companies like the Higdon Clone decoy or even some Lucky Ducks, with their motion decoys, they're going to send you a specific bag for the decoy to get it to and from wherever you're hunting. And if I'm spending this much money on a decoy, it would have been a nice add-on. Now, it's not the end of the world, and I think it's something they could easily fix in the future. But that is really going to be my only complaint. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. I'm really trying to get this channel to 1,000 viewers or 1,000 subscribers, because then I can actually monetize these videos and make a few bucks. And if you're in the hunting industry, you know that these decoys are not cheap. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.